Hello, people. I'm trying it again. Mike Stevens. Hello. Yeah, something's going on. We all know how it is. We all know. Is it better if I have it this way, people? Is it better, or should I rotate the device? Because it says to rotate. And I'm having such difficulty getting it going. I wonder if it's better if I go like this. Desert Goat, hello, hello. So is it better this way, people? Or is it better? This is number 1, right here. And this is number 2. Which way is better? Which way? Oh man, what difficulties when I had it all set up. Like that. Okay. All right. Well, let's see if I can continue. If I didn't get too thrown off by this thing. I just wanted to share a couple of things. And I am unable, people, I am unable to maybe I got it. Maybe I got it. Oh my goodness, it keeps echoing, saying the same thing I just said. Okay. I wish I could get rid of the chat here so that oh, this is bad. I'm not a very good operator, people. I don't even know what I'm doing. I want to get rid of the chat so I can see what you're saying. All right. I guess this is okay so that I can see what I'm reading. All right. I hope things are better. Let's see if I can continue. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Hello, everyone. Hello. I may not be able to read everything. I want to just, hello, great dude. Seb, thank you for letting me know which way it looks better. Okay, what I wanted to do is just share a couple of things. First of all, people, I used to have very strong convictions against anything that had to do with marijuana until I saw something where it is a remedy in the Bible. I saw this in a YouTube channel, lackluster. And I remember thinking, I should look at this. And this person that you're looking at now, with such strong convictions against anything marijuana, is now doing, if you can believe this, CB, something, some oil, and it's a Bible recipe. And that's how I got convinced. If you can believe that I am doing something that used to be so extremely strong, extremely against my convictions. But anyway, that's what I'm doing now, and it's supposed to take care of a lot of maladies. It's a Bible recipe in the book of Exodus, and the name of the oil is called Exodus Effect. But anyway, so yeah, CBD, that's right, Jonat. Jonat, is the something wrong with the video? It says that it only shows for a couple of seconds. Anyway, Ice and Corruption. Oh, I love Ice and Corruption. I've seen your videos. Hello. Yes, they used to live, the Bible people used to live hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Moses went to the mountain when he went up to the mountain when he was 120 years old. So anyway, you voted, Mike Stevens, for it to be legalized in America? Wow. There's King Nine. I've called you so many times. I never get a hold of you. Desert Goat. Anyway, people, I got so thrown off. Let me see if I can kind of get back to what I wanted to say. I'll be making more calls like I made the other day, probably sometime during the week, and follow up and make new ones too. Also, I wanted to show you sprouts. I am sprouting something. I don't know if you can see here. Bean sprouts. Oh man, I don't think you can see, but here we go. Bean sprouts. These are called mung beans. Mung beans. I love them. And on some sprouting, the nutrition, if you take a tiny bit of oil with it, like a small drop, you absorb so much of the nutrition. Anyway, by sprouting, it increases some there was a nutrient that increases up to 600 times or 600%, something like that. Very, very extremely nutritious. Anyway, the beans are called mung beans. Buy them in any Asian store. And what I do is I sprout them. First, I soak them for like 12 to 24 hours. First, I wash them in salt water and rinse them. And then I soak them. Then you drain the water and every 12 hours or so, maybe 10, 12 hours, you rinse them. And after 2 days or so, 3 days, depending on the weather, you have sprouts. I love them. I just love them. And it's a very delicious way, inexpensive way, sorry people for all the noise, to make, to get something healthy in. I am so thrown off, but anyway, let's see if I wanted to, there was something else I wanted to talk to you about before I start reading the case law. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about those two people. I forgot their name of their channel. I'll be talking some other time about them. James and Brandon, and they're in jail. There's got to be something that the community can do. This is terrible. So yes, people, on this,
Is that the crunchies? The crunchy sprouts?
yeah, there's
Can I have a
some,
spoonful?
you bet, and there's some in the
I'm gonna go get
freezer.
some.
You bet, sure, have
I'm
them,
gonna get a little
honey.
bowl full.
You bet.
This way you can know what the consistency is after they sprout for a few days.
Right, right. All right. Okay, people. I have some things that I like to read, case law that I found, that actually somebody did this work and it was long and hard. I did not compile or compose this
How many days
work.
did it take to get these here in this shape?
Oh, I was just telling the people that it's 12 hours you gotta soak them, 12 to 24, depends on, and after that you just rinse them.
Hello, everybody. I'm coming to.
There's T-Mac
That's my
saying hi to everybody.
little Mrs. Mac over here, little Mac.
You eat all you
I'm
can.
having. That's all I need.
Honey, they're not completely sprouted, but that's okay. You can still eat them.
They're ready now. They're crunchy.
Yes. Anyway, honey, I'll take care of this later, sweetheart.
God bless you guys. Try this. Very, very high in protein. Very nutritional. Super food. And delicious. Perfect on salads or by themselves.
Yes, honey, they are. They are. Oh, Joe Nut, you said you're gonna be here. I'm back, says yes, thank you, Joel Wilbanks. Oh, really? The live stream is up and down. Wow. So maybe I will rotate it. Because I want to read some case law, people. This is such good work that somebody spent so much time doing this. So I hope this is better now. Is that better? Joe Wilbanks, T-Mac is eating some sprouts that I was just showing you guys that I'm sprouting. They're not done yet, but he wanted to eat them. Oh, thank you, Mike Stevens, that you said we're a cute couple. And Joe Nut saying hello, honey. Hello again. And Joe Nut, you're gonna be recording tomorrow at the Voss. Yes, I am interested. Definitely. Oh, my dear, am I interested? I love going out with you to do audits. Oh, I love working with you, my dear.
Oh, is that good?
Good. Eat more. All you want, honey.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
That'll be good for a couple of days now.
Yes, yes, honey. And they're gonna sprout even more.
Yeah.
They're not done. They're about a little more than half. Mung beans. Yes, they are, my dear. I was just showing them. Oh. Are you able? I can't tell which phone I'm working. Are you able to see everything okay? Oh, there's no no thanks. For so long I haven't seen you. Really? I have to activate? I don't know how to do it, my dear. $12,000? Really? They're paying them a lot. Well, let's go. You bet. I am fine. No thanks. I haven't seen you in so long. Yes, thank you, Magami T. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad we are okay. People, should I rotate the phone or what should I do? Are you able to see? I don't even know because I got two phones going, one for the chat and one for the picture. If yes, it's a money-making scam, Mike Stevens. You said you see me, it's okay. Great. Okay. Yes, Jonah, definitely call me. You got my number. And we'll meet there. Excellent. Okay, people. Should I start reading? Somebody worked long and hard to do this, not me. But I wanted to read a couple of things. I wanted to read. Okay, case law called McNally versus U.S. people says that this is again McNally versus U.S. and I'm gonna repeat each one that I read. I've got many. We can do this several sessions because we're not gonna get through it. Anyway, it says deliberate concealment of information from fiduciary, the trust between trustee and beneficiary, to the public makes him guilty of fraud. One more time, I'll read it again. Deliberate concealment of information from fiduciary or the trust between trustee and beneficiary to the public makes him guilty of fraud. And that was McNally versus US. I probably have about 50, more than that, 50, maybe 100 of these to read. And I'm going to repeat all of them twice. So I'm hoping that we will be able to do it in several sessions. Okay, next one. Brady versus Maryland. I think this is a pretty popular one. Many of us already have heard of this one. And it says, prosecution withholding evidence violates due process of law. Brady versus Maryland. Prosecution withholding evidence violates due process of law. And I don't know what the chat's saying. Going live about 9 in the morning. Yes, Joe Knott. Yes. He's now positive. Wow. Yeah, Joe, you know, a lot of bad things, Joe Wilbanks, are happening with that vaccine. I think I'm going to end up not being able to work if they make it mandatory because my job is interpreting in the medical field and other places where there are people, and I won't be able to work very much longer. I don't know what I'll do to pay bills, but. All right, next one, people. Next one. Shushan versus U.S. Shushan versus U.S. says, no trustee has more sacred duties. Any scheme to obtain advantage by corrupting is considered a scheme to defraud in federal law. That was Shushan versus U.S., and I'll repeat it again. No trustee has more sacred duties. Any scheme to obtain advantage by corrupting is considered a scheme to defraud in federal law. Huh. Discovery, yes, Jewel Banks. Very interesting. You know, I'm in love with the law. I fell in love with the law after my second arrest, and I know very little about it. But I want to learn, and this is why I made these cards out of this. I have a habeas corpus, and I made flashcards so that I can learn these things, hopefully. Next one, U.S. versus Stahl. That's U.S. versus Stahl, and it says, to convict the government, you only need to prove that the scheme to defraud existed. One more time. To convict the government, you only need to prove that the scheme to defraud existed. That's U.S. versus Stahl. Joel Wilbanks, you seem to know a lot about this. Oh, that is so good. Thank you, Joel Wilbanks. Alrighty, here's next one. Manelli versus Georgia and Bailey versus Alabama. Manelli versus Georgia and Bailey versus Alabama says the powers to create presumption is not means of escape from constitutional restrictions. One more time. The powers to create presumption is not a means of escape from constitutional restrictions. And that was Manelli versus Georgia and Bailey versus Alabama. Next one, and like I said, I have 50 to 100, so we'll be able to look at these again. It says allegations of conclusion tenders no issue. That is California Western Holding Company versus Merrill. Anyway, I've got so many of these. We'll just read them for a little bit longer, and then unless you guys have questions or something to share or something. I do want to talk to you about that case, but I got so thrown off. I don't know where I put the name of that. In fact, maybe I can look in the history and tell you about the channel. Okay, this one is Gibson versus Boyle, 139, Arizona, 1983. And he says, without corpus delicti, there can be no crime or injured party. One more time, without corpus delicti, there can be no crime or injured party. Gibson versus Boyle, 1983. Also Lujan versus Defenders of Wildlife. And corpus delicti has two elements. One, that a certain result been produced, and two, that someone is criminally responsible for the result. This is also McVeigh versus State. Okay, this is Butts versus Economo. Butts versus Economo says parties are entitled to know the findings on all presented on the record. So everything that's on a record, the court has to present it all because the parties are entitled to know the findings on all presented on the record. That's Butts versus Economo.
The skies. Did you open the door?
Correct, Joe Will Banks. They it's not a criminal thing, and yet they make so many millions of dollars every year by having by ticketing people who have not injured anybody when they were going above the speed limit. Yes, they're criminals. All right, buyers versus US. Buyers is BYARS versus US. It's really stealthy encroachment of rights. And it says, it is the duty of the courts to be watchful for constitutional rights of citizen and against the stealthy or encroachment of rights. Encroachment means intrusion, trespass, or invasion of their rights. That was buyers versus US. Next one, Harris versus Nelson, and Brown versus Vasquez on habeas corpus. So this is Harris versus Nelson and Braun, not Brown, but Braun versus Vasquez. And it says, fundamental instrument for safeguarding freedom against against arbitrary and lawless state action administered to ensure the miscarriage of justice within its reach are surfaced and corrected. Ability to cut through barriers of formal procedure mazes have always been emphasized and jealously guarded by courts and lawmakers. And yet they go against all of this all the time. No, safeguard of information, not of people. This is the safeguarding information. And miscarrying of justice. Okay, next one. Okay, next one is People versus Shield House. The right to invoke, oh my goodness. You know what? I think I'm gonna stop. I have so many of them, but I think I'm gonna stop because this live stream just, I can't tell if it's this camera in front of me or this camera on the side of me. I can't tell which one is working, and I just got thrown off. I'm going to wish you all a good night. And thank you for joining. Thank you for the likes. And we will read more case law sometime. And hopefully I'll do a better job. Thank you for joining. Talk to you soon. Many blessings and good night, everybody. So, are you gonna call me though, Joe Nut? Good night, everyone. Thank you, Joe Wilbanks. Thank you. I had not seen you in so long. I appreciate all that you do for the movement, and thank you for being here tonight, everyone. Many blessings, dear subs, dear souls. You're very dear to my heart. Good night, everybody. All right, let's see what this is saying. Oh, this is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Oh, well, I tried. I love you too, Joe Nut. Oh, I am. Okay. I didn't know that I was still live. How do I turn this off? I guess I'll just turn off the phone. Thank you, Desert Goat.